everyone? It's Lonk the Sane. Good to have you back for another edition of Ladder Thursday. So for this week and the next few weeks, I'm going to be playing decks that have been played by my teammates over on NephilimGG. I think it's interesting to show off people's unique takes, their unique perspectives on things. So I'd like to show off some decks that have been played by my teammates. And for this week, it's going to be a blue-yellow control deck called Singing Serpents Veil Edition, and this is one that was played by Laezar during this season on the ladder, and Laezar is on the competitive side of NephilimGG. So for this deck, it's going to be a Rainbow's End deck, so of course we're going to have a ton of enchantments in here. Most of them are ones you'll recognize. We have Cairn Henges, we have Demolition Speedway. Because we're in yellow, we definitely have Many Falls, we have Serpent's Den, and we also have the Goliath's Web, which comes in handy a lot of times. But there's one in here that's kind of interesting choice by Laezar, that is Loki's Veil. This actually may not be a bad idea given the metagame. Aztec Control likes to play a lot of artifacts and enchantments. Green-yellow, not so much, but you still run into things like Many Falls, and we've seen more decks starting to use cards like Shroud of the Pit as well. And also red-orange mid-range, of course, they have the Heaven and Hades, and this can shut them right down. So, interesting metagame choice. This may not be a bad card after all. It'll be interesting to test it out and see how it does. And because we are playing so many enchantments, that kind of limits the number of minions that we have. So if you look, we only have 15 in here, but the minions we do play will make it count. We have the Ironheart Thane, which if we can blow it up even bigger, gets really tough to get rid of. Of course, we have cards like Brage Runesinger and Kara Morning Wives, and Kara may actually be the MVP of this deck. A lot of the times she just beats down on the opponent when they don't have a good answer for her. And then, of course, in yellow, we see a couple of twins. We have Sapo, and we have Zehula, because, wouldn't you know, we have a couple artifacts in here as well. We have the Olama Ring, which can pump up our minions. And we also have a couple of Singing Stones, which pump up our minions when they're on enchantments. So one of the main strategies this deck tries to use to win is to play out a bunch of enchantments, start putting out minions, and use the artifacts to just blow them up to a ginormous size till the opponent can't really handle them. And because we don't have too many minions in here, we have Reconstruct as our power. That will give us a couple minions we can put out, and especially if we have like a Singing Stone or a Llama Ring, then we'll be able to get more value out of them by making them quite large. So this will be an interesting deck to play. Blue-yellow is typically a pretty slow control deck, and there are a few omissions in this deck that are worth noting. The first main one I'd like to point out is this card right here, Bulwark. I'm sure you're familiar with this. This is one of the main reasons a lot of people play blue-yellow. Because we're so low on minions, it's a good card to have to add a little bit of extra defense, so they have a little more survivability, and it also draws us a card, which is useful. As you can see from the deck list, which I'll leave in the description below, we don't have a whole lot of card draw in here, so not having Bulwark is an interesting choice, but it does leave room for more enchantments, more large minions, and whatnot. Also, no Wonder Drug. Yeah, so who would have thought a yellow deck that actually isn't using Wonder Drug, so we'll be leaning a little more heavily on our Many Falls to gain us some life throughout the matches. So, like I said, blue-yellow a little bit slower. Oh, also important to note, only one Misanthropia. So hopefully we won't need to wipe the board twice, because we're only going to get one shot at it, but hopefully that's going to be all we need. So Laezar is a very good competitor. He took this all the way to champion, so I have a feeling it's going to be good. But as always, let's just play a couple games. We'll see how it does, and then we'll meet up back here, and I'll give you my final thoughts on this deck. And if it sounds like I'm a little bit out of it during these videos, I was under the weather when I recorded the matches, so yeah, I was not my usual peppy self. So a little bit down, but certainly not out. So let's get into a couple of matches and see how this deck does. Okay, Jerson is our opponent. Jerson. I'm not sure how that's pronounced, but alright. This is an alright opening hand. Alright, we have 2 Singing Stones. I think I just keep both of those. I think Misanthropia can go. Actually, it looks like they might be playing Valkyries, so I might want to hang on to that. Alright, so we'll get rid of the Orbital Jamming Satellite. We'll say go. Alright, we hit a Goliath's Web. That's good. That should be able to slow him down. Yep, this is looking a lot like Valkyries, so... Alright, well, that's a Serpent's Den. I don't think we can do anything with that just yet. What do I want to play? I think I burn another yellow. Let's go with the Bemeni Falls. Leprechaun's Coin. Then we'll play the Serpent Den right in front of that Thane. So good luck getting through, opponent. Oh, we hit another Serpent's Den, so this is going to get really frustrating for the opponent. Okay, Sea Haven, that could be an interesting way around it. So there's a Twin Blanc. I think for now we just burn the Singing Stone. And I think I just want to put out the Thane. Next turn we can drop Demolition Speedway on it, so let's pass the turn. Alright, Bridge Ray Troll. Problematic. Alright, so what do I want to burn here? You know, we're going to hit that all of that with the Misanthropia, right? So let's just go for maximum damage here. Or not even maximum damage. Let's play out another Serpent's Den. Since hopefully that'll help us recover quicker than the opponent. And then we're going to burn another yellow. Let's do the Goliath's Web. Play out the Maze. We'll draw a card next turn, and then we'll just... Likely, we'll just be Misanthropia, the opponent. I know Valkyries is really not good at recovering from Misanthropia. Let's see if they overplay their hand here. Let's see if we can get a few more cards onto the board. That'd be great for us. Although they can hop around with their minions because they had that Bridge Ray Troll. Alright. So that's good. They didn't go around with the Sea Haven. Interesting. That is a Thunderclap. I don't know if that's going to do us any good at the moment. So we're kind of getting outsized. Ooh, Kara Morning Wives. So... Oh boy. She is really good against this kind of build. So I think we just want to go for Kara. So let's burn the Thunderclap. Play out Misanthropia. And we'll say go. burn a card? Yes, I did. Alright. Trying to get greedy, because I'm trying to see, ooh, can I Frecky Sidecar and Kara Morning Wives in the same turn? But, getting a little bit greedy with that. But we can put out a couple of twins. So let's see how we can harass the opponent. Junkyard Valhalla. Alright, they're going to get a tough and then a Bridge Raid Troll. So let's just put out Kara Morning Wives.
Is that all you've got?
And I should have put her out the Bemeni Falls first, but yeah, that's fine. Be okay without it. I think we'll just burn it. Pass the turn. Our life really isn't under any sort of threat here. They get a minion back, she's going to get bigger. We can put Demolition Speedway on her. If we want to burn the sidecar, we can also put a Singing Stone, or actually we can just put a Demolition Speedway and an Olama Ring. So we can get in for some pretty huge damage. Valkyries does not have a good way to really deal with her other than throwing more minions onto the board. Alright, so we got an Ironheart Thane. So I think for now we just go Speedway, Olama Ring, get in for 9. And really start to threaten our opponent here. I mean, if they want to get in for 6, that's fine. Alright, that'll take care of a couple of snakes. So Frecky Scout, she's going to get bigger. Got a couple more snakes. And we can get in for 8. Yeah, let's just do that. Get in for 8. Put our opponent down to 6. Let's play out the twin over here. Twin over there. Although we're likely going to lose one of the twins if they move that tough over. So, alright. Let's pass the turn. They do have Impel as their power, so they can slide it over and attack in the same turn. It's going to be a little tricky for the opponent to get out of this one. Allfather's Horn is not going to save him here. Okay. Kara just gets bigger and bigger. Opponent doesn't attack. So I think they know they're just kind of done right here now. So Valkyries, ironically, don't have a good answer for Kara Morning Wives, even though she is a Valkyrie. So that was an interesting little win. You saw the value that Kara Morning Wives has. In a very minion-based deck, she can present a huge problem. We got her down on the board, and Valkyries just doesn't have any great removal. Sometimes they run the Enforcer, which can bounce her, but without any way of really directly destroying her. She just got bigger and bigger, and just Kara's too much woman for them to handle. So, good win for this deck, and let's see what else we can do. Alright, our opponent here is Plug It. And let's see. Alright, they burn Trader's Murmur, so there's some kind of green deck. Let's see, what do I want to keep? I think I can burn one of the mazes. I'll play out the other. We'll say go. Don't have any minions in hand, unfortunately. So it looks like we're going to be setting up some serpent dens. Right, it's a green-purple deck. I'm kind of familiar with that. Alright, let's use the maze. It's not looking good. I mean, having to take down 2 color box, I mean, I really don't have much to do so. So that's going to be problematic. So let's just put down a many falls for now. And then we'll just say go. Next turn, probably burn the other many falls, or one of the other many falls. Yeah, we're not drawing real good here, so got some catching up to do. Because our opponents can be ramped way up.
Welcome.
Alright, so Loki's Veil. Hopefully we'll be able to get some use out of that. But for now, let's just many falls. Put down a Serpent's Den. I'll say go. Okay, opponents getting a bit greedy with their ramping. Taking their sweet time here. Rogue Eidolon? Okay. That'll shut that down. I'm not too worried about that. Let's play out the other Serpent's Den. Then we'll put out the maze. And say go. So opponent, I think, just realized they can't attack into the Serpent because of the maze. They seem to hesitate there. Alright, they're going to hop over with the Barkeep. Probably take out that maze. And let's just draw a card with it. Singing Stone, alright. And let's burn the Loki's Veil. Not getting much use out of it. And what do I want to do here? I think I want to cast one of the Singing Stones. We'll pump up our snakes. Also play Olama Ring. Pump our stuff up even further. Then pass the turn. So we're just going to play the defensive game here. So we can draw into some better stuff. I think next turn just put a giant stairway right in the middle. Then we can start throwing Frecky sidecars at them. Alright, they're finally going to trade off their color box. So our opponent is up to 10 mana already. So they're way ahead of us on mana. Just didn't have any really good way of dealing with those quickly, unfortunately. Alright, they attacked with the Rogue Eidolon, but our snake just kind of took the hit there. Not much our opponent can do. Zeula. Okay. I think for now we'll burn Demolition Speedway. Put out Giant Stairway. Play another Singing Stone. Pump our stuff even further. Get an attack. And now we will pass the turn. Next turn we can go Sidecar and Zehula. That's an option. Maybe I should have waited to play that last Singing Stone. Right, Shroud of the Pit, sure. They can bring stuff back, but they're not going to have many places to go with it. Right, another Hotel Barkeep. Right, sprout a couple of snakes. We'll keep on the defensive here. I think what we're going to do, though, is we'll drop Frecky Sidecar. That's a nice big old 7/8. We'll have it take out Sing Sor. We'll drop Zeula. Have him take out the Hotel Barkeep. He's going to regenerate a couple. And I think then we play a Leprechaun's Coin. And let's put out Clay Effigy, draw a card. Keep up. Oh, Broggy's good pickup. Alright, so we'll pass the turn. Next turn we can play out a Goliath's Web. We can potentially take out the Rogue Eidolon. We can take out a blocker if they put in front of the Frecky Sidecar. Green-purple doesn't have any sweepers, but we still got to be careful of things like a Short Stag or Perfect Raid or something large like that. Iku Turso? Sure. So the Goliath's Web is really going to come in handy here. So we can take out Iku Turso, because this will still have its passive ability. And we can hopefully get in for 14-18. That's exciting. So our opponent has a whole bunch of the powerful ramen, but they're not using it because they have Impel as their power. Alright, so that'll take out a Clay Effigy because of the blast ability. That's fine. Alright, that's a Einhard Thane. So let's put out the Goliath's Web. Let's take out the Iku Turso. Then we'll also drop Einhard Thane on that spot. That gets Rush. So we'll use that to take out the Rogue Eidolon. So let's get in for 7, 14. +4. +4. Get the opponent down to 1. Oh man, so close. Yet so far. The opponent's going to need a sweeper of some sort. Let's just pass the turn. Wow, what a swing. So we got way behind on mana, and the opponent just doesn't have an answer. That was something else, folks. We got way behind our opponent there, but then this deck, just using its enchantments, just bit by bit came back, and we were able to just beat down the opponent. Whole lot of damage out of nowhere. And yeah, we were just able to get the pieces that we needed. And having the Singing Stone and the Alama Ring, it's really helped us out here. We were able to just beat down this deck. Like I said, this is kind of a control deck, but I also think it's kind of more mid-rangey because on occasion we can be the beatdown, and you saw that there. Once we turn that corner, we turn that corner hard. And yeah, that was a fun game, and that was downright impressive from this deck. So, one quick apology before I get into the deck. I should have played that Clay Effigy in the last game on the other side of the board. That way I would have gotten in for that last point of damage, and I would have been able to OTK the opponent. But because I wasn't thinking when I played it out, I ended up missing that point of damage. But we won, so it doesn't matter anyway. As for the deck itself, blue-yellow to me, for those of you who've played Magic the Gathering, blue-yellow has always come off to me as kind of the Grixis in this game. Always looks great on paper, but when you play it out, just kind of disappointing, kind of mediocre. That said, this deck, I actually like this deck a lot. There were times where this deck was outright impressive. Like I said in the intro, I thought Kara Morningwives would be an MVP in this deck, and she absolutely was. There were a couple of games where I got Kara Morningwives down early, and she was just able to beat down on the opponent. But all that said, this was a really weird deck to play. It was weird because the play patterns were kind of unusual for it. It was either very defensive, very, having to, try and stabilize, very much on my heels, and then within a turn or two, I was just beating down the opponent, which is what you saw in that last match, and that's how a lot of them felt. When this deck turns a corner, it turns a corner hard. So it felt unusual, but not bad by any means. I ended up going 8-5 with this deck. Probably should have been 9-4, 10-3. I probably should have done better, but this deck definitely has a little bit of a learning curve to it. Like I said, the play patterns are a little bit odd on it, but I can see why it's successful. I made some interesting choices in this deck. Keeping Frecky's sidecar, even after it got nerfed. I mean, Frecky, you saw in that last match, it helped us big time, and there were a couple matches where the sidecar really bailed me out. Unfortunately, the one card that I'm kind of iffy on still is, unfortunately, the Loki's Veil. I didn't show any matches where I got to use it. I think I only had maybe 1 or 2 where I actually did get a chance to use it, and when it's good, it's really good, but a lot of times it's kind of iffy, at least in the matches I played. Not a bad card, but just don't think it's maybe the best fit. But overall, I would give this deck a thumbs up. This is a very good blue-yellow build. Like I said, Laezar took this all the way to champion. I can see why. This deck can be really sneaky at times. Especially when you get your Singing Stones and your Llama Rings in one turn, you can just pump up your minions really huge, get in for a lot of damage very quickly. And yeah, thumbs up to this deck. It's a good build, so I can see why Laezar had so much success with it. So I would definitely recommend this if you want to try it out on the ladder. So that's going to be it for me today. I will be back next week for a Casual Tuesday, and I don't think I have any other announcements to make. As always, if you like my stuff, hit the like and subscribe button below. Always good to have new fans. You can check me out on NephilimGG. You can also follow me on Twitter. I'll leave a link for that as always. And that's going to be it for me. So I will see you guys next time.